For the past couple of months, I have been recording my games with a GoPro in the goal and uploading them here to YouTube. And in that time of making these videos, I've received countless amount of questions in the comments asking me things like what gloves or boots I wear, or even asking me what's in my match day bag. So in this video, I'll be telling you exactly what I bring in my gear bag for match days and some goalkeeper essentials that you are going to want to bring if you have not done already. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to say a massive thank you for the amount of support on this channel recently. We've officially passed 100,000 subscribers and it has been a dream come true to receive this 100k plaque. And for the very first time since making this channel, the percentage of not subscribed numbers has officially hit below 90%. So if you could do me a little favor before we start this video, if you do enjoy it, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't be afraid to give it a like, and let me know in the comments down below what is one essential thing that you always bring to your match days that you could not go without. When I'm getting my gear bag ready for a game, the first thing that I'm always making sure I have is obviously my gloves and boots. I always have 2 sets of gloves and 2 sets of boots, both for different reasons. Usually I'd like to have a set of metal studs and a set of moles. Being in Ireland, you never really know what way the grass pitch is going to be. But another reason as to why I always bring 2 pairs of boots to a game is just on the off chance that, you know, one of my boots rip within the game. It's happened to me before and I didn't have a spare set of boots and I had to play the whole game with the sole hanging off my boot and I had to tape it up. It was horrendous. I never want to go through it again. That reason also comes into effect when bringing 2 pairs of gloves to a game. Usually what I do is use my match day gloves like normal, but bring my training gloves, you know, in case they rip or get soaked if the weather is bad, because every keeper knows how uncomfortable it is coming back out at halftime and putting on those drenched pair of gloves. It's not fun. Now that I make sure that I have my gloves and boots ready, they're actually not the first thing that I put in my bag, and I'll explain why further in the video. So let's just put them to the side. The first thing that I personally always put in my bag is slides or sliders, whatever you want to call them, and 3 towels. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, 3 towels? What the hell is this guy doing bringing 3 towels to a match? Well, 1 towel is to dry yourself after a shower or after a rainy match day, and 2 smaller towels for my gloves. If you watch closely to my videos over the past couple of months, you'll notice that I always have a towel hanging in the net of the goal. This is to dry my gloves in case they get too wet, and to wipe off any dirt that gets on the palm of the gloves while making any saves. And if you're wondering why I bring 2 with me, it's almost the exact same reason why I bring 2 gloves. Just in case it starts lashing raining in the first half and the towel ends up being soaked through, I'll have another dry towel ready to bring out for the second half. Next up is my kit. Socks, shorts, Under Armour, all fairly self-explanatory. For me, I've always preferred to wear grip socks, so they're 110% going to be in the gear bag. Usually what I do is I wear my grip socks and I cut my kit socks at the ankle and wear them over the grip socks. The main reason as to why I prefer grip socks rather than just the normal regular socks that the club give you, it all lies in the ability that they provide superior traction and stability. The base of these socks features non-slip grip pads that make contact with the inner surface of the boot. This completely ensures that your foot stays firmly in place and doesn't slide around when you're pivoting or adjusting your feet, and especially when you jump off the dive towards any footballs that are coming your way. And that brings in the next item that is essential to me on match days: sock tape. As a goalkeeper diving around on the ground, it's almost guaranteed your shin pads and socks are going to be sliding in all sorts of directions. This sock tape is there to prevent that and keep your shin pads in the right position at all times. And that is why I will always have sock tape in my kit bag. Just make sure that your sock tape is the same color as your kit, because if you're wearing a red kit with blue sock tape, the ref is going to call you up on it and make you take it off. And speaking of shin pads, again, pretty self-explanatory. If you're not wearing these, the ref is not going to let you on the pitch. So don't forget your shin pads. Another essential item, and probably the most important item in my kit bag: wrist tape. If you have floppy weak wrists and fingers like me, this will be your best friend. You've seen almost every professional goalkeeper using this in training and match days, and it's for good reason. Now, there are multiple different types of tapes out there, but for me, I've always preferred to use zinc oxide tape. This is a non-stretch cotton tape with zinc oxide adhesive. Some of the most common injuries in goalkeeping would be jamming your fingers or even spraining your wrists. This tape is there to prevent that. You can even see the difference of wearing wrist tape on the right compared to not wearing wrist tape on the left. Wearing this tape restricts the hyperextension mobility, which can seriously reduce spraining or even breaking your wrists or fingers. For me, it almost feels like it's a bit of a superstition at this point if I don't wear wrist tape, and it almost feels like bad luck because in the 2 times that I haven't worn wrist tape in the past like 5 to 6 years, I've actually broken both my thumbs on 2 separate games. So for me, this is always going to be in my kit bag. The next item is something that I've only added to my bag this season, and in all honesty, it's definitely the best thing that I've added in a long time. The GoPro. Bringing this thing to every game so far this season and uploading these videos to YouTube has been incredibly refreshing and made me not only enjoy football more, but I feel like it's made me improve as a goalkeeper, being able to watch back my games and fix any mistakes that I've made. In the short 5 months of bringing this GoPro down to my matches, spending time editing them together and uploading them here to YouTube, we have built a great community. Being able to upload these videos and read all the positive comments and even people complimenting each other in the comments as well is so good to see. So for me this season, it's probably the most important thing that I have been putting in my gear bag, and every time the weekend comes, it's the one thing that I'm excited to bring and put in the goal to record every game for the rest of the season. For anyone wondering what GoPro I use the GoPro Hero 9. Now there is a bunch of newer models out there, but for me this one has worked perfect and I haven't looked back since after buying it. I also use the max lens mod attached to the GoPro to get that wide angle to view the whole goal. I did actually make an in-depth video about how I record my games, what settings I use on my camera, and exactly what I use. So I'm going to put the link to that video in the description if you are interested in that. If you are looking at bringing a GoPro to your games, I would recommend getting a second battery. The GoPro battery usually ends up with about 20% battery life left at half time. So to be safe and make sure the battery doesn't die within the second half, I always switch out to a new battery at halftime. Next up, something that all goalkeepers should have in their bag but might not even think about it: a cap. I get so many comments when I wear this cap asking why, or even if you're allowed to wear a cap in a game. Well, the answer is yes, you are most definitely allowed to wear a cap within a game, and you should always have one with you, because the last thing you want as a goalkeeper is for the sun to come out and you not being able to see a thing. Last but certainly not least, water and a snack. Again, just like a towel for my gloves, if you've seen any of my match day videos, you'll see that I always have a water bottle in the goal with me. Staying hydrated is key to staying focused and not getting injured. And of course, a snack for energy before a game or during halftime. Once everything is in the bag, you'll remember that I set my gloves to the side, and that was for a fairly good reason. I always like to put in my gloves last, so when I get to the changing room, it's the first thing I see and the first thing that I take out and have ready. This is definitely not an essential thing, but maybe a bit of a personal thing for me. And there you have it. Preparation is key, and that's how I prepare on a match day to make sure I'm comfortable and ready for whatever happens within the game. If you did enjoy this video, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments what is one thing that you can't go without on match days.